golden calf experience is the flesh revived or resurrected in the same way as we move on after our redemptive experience. The devil will be right there at a more convenient time to resurrect and to revive and blow life into your old dead flesh. He's right there. He's always waiting. I'll be back. I'll look for a more opportune time. And that's what I'm saying. The golden calf experience is a resurrection, a reviving of the flesh that they really had put behind them to some extent some 40 plus days ago. Didn't take long. The flesh is quieted with the great deliverance. And I use deliverance there, the word deliverance as opposed to redemption, but it's kind of synonymous. But I want to use the word deliverance because there are great deliverances in your life. There's only one redemption, but there's great deliverances. And if you're not careful, after any one of those deliverances, you'll kind of think that you have now succeeded. You've killed one of the giants, but there's still a multitude of them. There's still several more of them in the land. Okay? Don't let the flesh tell you, well, now you won. Now you overcame the nicotine habit, so now you're in good shape to proceed. Satan is the tempter's advance. Satan, the tempter's advance, was timed with the Israelites' uncertainty. See, it was their uncertainty that brought the tempter on the scene. They were certain when they came over that Red Sea. They were so certain. But as they moved through the wilderness, they became more and more uncertain, even though God showed them on occasion with certainty, all right, here's some bread, here's some quail, here's some sweet water. But now they've been sitting at the foot of Sinai for 40 days, and where is this Moses? Where'd he go? We don't know if the guy's even alive still. So it is at this time of uncertainty that the devil looks to tempt. And what happens when we're uncertain about the future? Yeah. And then what happens? We live for the day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you're uncertain is when you live for the day, not when you're certain. When you're certain, you're living in the future. Your goal is to get the inheritance, to grow up, to mature. You're in training. And when you become a teenager, if you prize that, then you really apply yourself. When they call you out at 6 in the morning for exercise and to learn how to work that sword, you're out there with enthusiasm. And you're certain that you are an heir. And all you're doing is preparing you to rule. But when you're uncertain, you live for the day. It's similar to the Jews in the land today. There's not a more decadent place in the world. There's not a people that live more for themselves than right there. I'm sorry if I'm offending you, but the reality is that those people live in uncertainty. And therefore, they you know what they do? They transpose that into living for the day. And you know what happens then? Their children live for the day. And when children live for the day, what they do? And that's the way that whole country is. Well, the devil looks to the Christian when he's uncertain. That's when the tempter comes on. It's a good time to tempt these Israelites. They're uncertain. Well, it's the propensity of man's carnal nature. In other words, I wish I could say it as well as some have said it before, that nature that's within you, Satan appeals to that nature. You know, he blows the wind over the coal there to get that fire going again to consume you with. And it's the propensity of that latent nature that's lying there, lifeless, because you've defied it. You've denied it life. Well, he's there, and he knows when an opportune time is to get you to blow life back into that propensity, that carnal nature. Satan's appeal was directed towards their uncertainty. Their uncertainty. It's not working. It's not going to work. How are we going to get there? Who's going to lead us? What are we going to do? And you know, you can see that today. I'll just give you one quick example. That if you follow after a man and you find out that he isn't what he was purported or what he reflected or what he was trying to be in your eyes, many Christians have been offended by finding out that that person they've been following is a hypocrite or is actually in the flesh. And you know what they've done? They've withdrawn. You know, I was so sure, but now I'm uncertain. You know, if what he was saying is probably, if that's bunk, then that guy's probably bunk, and that guy's probably living this out, and pretty soon they're uncertain. They're uncertain. And the devil's right there. Say, you're right. You're right. There ain't none of them worth following. Matter of fact, it's all grace. That's why it's all grace, because none of them's worth following. So you might as well live for today. Don't worry about it. God will forgive you, just like He's going to forgive that guy, and blah, 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 blah. Many have fallen out when Moses tarried. When they didn't have that leader right there to lead them, they didn't know how to lead themselves. There was a study done at Stanford University that some children were given marshmallows, and they were promised if they would wait 20 minutes that before they ate that one, that they would get another one. Well, as you can imagine, many of them went ahead and ate that marshmallow. They couldn't wait. Interestingly, those who did later in life, those that did not eat the marshmallow but waited the 20 minutes, later in life they followed the Stanford University, followed it up, and they found that many of them were more adaptive and were able to maneuver in their lives, be more creative, and that on their SATs they scored up to 210 points on the average above those that ate the marshmallow. Well, it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of spiritual understanding there.
I hear a scripture that says, "Let patience have her perfect work, and you'll be perfect and entire, wanting nothing."
Well, you heard the same one I did, Liddell. I wrote, their patience and willingness was put to test. As they were presented an alternative plan, no need to forego immediate pleasure, even after a great deliverance and the promise of the greater future hope, you can have your marshmallow and eat it too.